Taran, Jay, welcome. Jay, to you first. How are companies doing in terms of building Gen AI applications that truly engage customers?
There's a lot of experimentation going on, for starters, right? What we've seen companies be successful with is when they integrate AI into existing workflows rather than siloing it. So we've seen the companies that are really being successful in this space in engaging customers are the ones that work backwards from what the customers actually require, a genuine use case, and then making sure that they're selecting the right foundational models for them. Choice is really important. They need to provide it in a very, very secure environment. That's something that we've learned from a lot of our engagements with our customers. And at the same time, as an organization, we've seen that customers who are really successful make sure that they're making available these technologies across the organization, not just in silos. So you're actually solving a genuine customer problem end to end. That's what I'd say. Taran, what do you think?
I think, Jay, you're spot on. From our experience, and I'll quote a statistics which just came out, about 65% of the CEOs think AI is a top priority for them this year, but only 25% of them believe that they're actually doing something which is meaningful. And we haven't seen such a stark gap between what you want to be versus where you think you are ever. And that's because of, as Jay said, some of the new things which are coming up. We personally think that the biggest issue is actually not the infrastructure, not the algorithms, but the people and processes. How can you actually embed GenAI and AI inside your existing teams, existing processes, and existing functions? That is truly the biggest problem statement for many CEOs to solve.
So, what is the key then, Taran, to delivering personalized messaging that resonates across the customer journey?
It's a billion-dollar question. People are still trying to solve and make some billions out of it. No, the way I look at it is like it's not that personalization as a theme is new. It has existed for years and years. It's only now that it actually can be implemented in the last mile. So, and that has been powered by the onslaught of GenAI and AI applications that have come up, right? But I think to differentiate between just deploying a personalization to completely reinventing the customer experience, we believe that you have to think about it not from a message perspective, but from a customer perspective. What I advise all my clients is really put yourself in the shoes of the customers. Really understand what are they going through in the journey. What is the customer, what is she thinking about? What does she want? How does she want to look at this? And then find a way to do it. And with the ability, with GenAI coming in, some of these last mile ability to influence customers on how genuinely the pain points they are feeling is much higher. It starts backwards from the customer.
Couldn't agree more. I just summarize that by saying that Taran's absolutely spot on. The way we look at it is personalization is not just about adding a person's name to a flow. Personalization is about a few things. It needs to be relevant, it needs to be real time, and it needs to be seamless. And that's really where personalization really starts to take off. And that's where we think the bringing together a variety of technologies, which for all practical purposes are transparent to the end user, but just having a very sophisticated end user experience, that's really what the hyper-personalization is all about. And we think there is a real opportunity now to make sure that we're driving this hyper-personalization at scale. And we think that this is the moment to do that.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to telco leaders ahead of this year or into this year, what would that be?
Look, I think telcos are in an enviable place because they have a customer base that is supremely dissatisfied all the time in a good way. If you take that as a challenge rather than a problem, it gives us an opportunity to solve those problems. So for telco leaders, we think that this is an opportunity for them in 2025 to really become customer experience enhancers, right? So we think that that's really going to be the key. How can they do that? Embed AI at every layer of the stack in their business. Make sure that they open it up to their employees, give them the right tools rather than trying to close it up, and make sure that they're delivering on what the customer actually needs rather than inventing use cases for the sake of them. Solve customer problems, do it with a way of sophistication, do it at scale, make a difference to your customers?
Karen?
I think since 2024, the question has changed: is AI or GenAI real? To it is real. How should I do it? So my advice is the framework that BCG uses. It's a 10-20-70 framework. We believe 10% of the value in any of this reinvention or transformation comes from the underlying algorithms. 20% comes from the tech infrastructure that you build, but 70% comes from changing the business processes, culture, and the mindset of your organization to go out and deliver it. So if it's one advice I would say is keep in mind that 10-20-70, 70% of the value is something that you can own without worrying about the technology and the underlying algorithms.
Taran, Jay, thank you so much. A pleasure.